Hey, I am Leesa with Leesa Boone Designs, and today we're going to be decoupaging. But first, I want to show you what we did last week. I did post pictures and a reel about the projects that we did last week, where we took watercolor paper, I took DIY paint. I just threw it away. I had some DIY paint on transfer sheet, and it had dried up and crusted up, and I used it, hold on a second, as watercolor. And so then we used some transfers on here and painted the frames, and this is one of them. So that turned out really, really cute. Here's another one where I actually stamped some wording. I love adding texture and layers and words to designs. So this is what we did last week on my TikTok live and my Facebook and my YouTube live, because I'm streaming on all the things today. This is another one. This is that custom color that we created that is part of the 2024 design trends. And then we added, again, some watercolor. There we go, so that you can see it without the glare. And you can see all of them too on my profile. So this is the one that we said needed more. I added lots of layers. I deepened up the watercolor, and then I added the little deer. So we're gonna be getting on to today's project, but I just wanted to show you what we did last week. This one, you guys said leave the frame alone, so I left it in that bronzy color, and I think it looks really, really, really good. So all of these, again, were watercolor papers that we upcycled some frame to create custom artwork, and that's how that went. So today I have this wood box, and I always thrift wood boxes. I love wood boxes. I use them for so many things. I have one like this. It's a little bit thicker, and I put my essential oils in it. I have small cigar boxes. I'll put remotes. I'll put all kinds of craft paper. Hi Sheila, welcome. Welcome guys on TikTok. So this is just a generic box. It's seen better days. It has some really deep texture in there. Can you see the texture? So I have some Decoupage Queen. This is called STM42. I think it's called STM42. And I couldn't figure it out, but then I saw STM42. So it's kind of grungy, and I haven't done grungy in a while. I had wanted to do this on a piece of furniture. So Decoupage Queen has large format that you have to special order, so you can put it on a full chest, and I love that. I have some other decoupage papers that I was kind of auditioning. This was another one that I really love that I've used before on a chair. It has a lot of numbers, but it's such a cool, vibrant paper, and I thought I really wanted to go a little bit grungy. So typically when we decoupage, we paint the piece, and we usually paint it a light color so that the decoupage paper colors will pop. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm just going to decoupage this directly on here, because it's not gonna really matter, and I do want this grungy. It's going to darken this up a little bit, but we're just gonna go ahead and go with it. So the decoupage paper by Decoupage Queen is rice paper versus this tissue paper that's like 20 by 30 or 21 by 29. Now they make it, I forget. But basically about 20 by 30, right? So this paper is tissue paper. It's 18 pounds. It's awesome, and I love it. But I also love the rice paper. It's easy to work with. It has the fibers. It feels differently. It's tough, but it comes with this white border. So the first thing that you have to do is you can either use a scissors, or you can cut it with water. And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm wearing my big old apron. I actually got this from Carmen when we went to Colorado, and I said I was gonna buy some and maybe do like some classes. This is a recycled stencil, and I stenciled this with Iron Orchid Design ink pad, and it's permanent. And so then you can iron it, and it's permanent. So Hey Ruth, hey Shannon. So anyway, so yeah, and then Carmen ended up stenciling the entire thing, and I love this one. It's huge and it wraps around you, and it's got these pockets. Let me know if you guys would be interested in this, because I was gonna buy a whole bunch and like do like a little workshop, and of course, you know, I would have kits for it. So see, all I'm doing is maybe you can't see. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm dipping my brush. Usually I use a brush that has water in it, but I don't have it on me right now. So I'm just cutting this up. And I want to see the fiber, so I'm just drawing a line right where the white is, and then I'm just pulling it apart. And see those jagged edges? I love that. I love, 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 love. Okay, so again, you could cut it with a scissors if you wanted, but the water just helps you to cut it exactly where you want it, and it gives you that edge. All right, so again, I'm gonna show you. And especially if you're wanting to paint into it, like if your decoupage paper is not big enough, this is a great way to hide the edge, and you can paint right up to it, and it doesn't stand out like a straight line would. Because especially if you're using DIY paint, which is what I typically use, and we're on the DIY paint page right now. I love that apron. I'd be afraid of getting paint all over it. I'm messy. Well, that's the whole point, girl. I would be interested in a workshop. Okay. Hey, Callie girl. That apron looks familiar. Yep. I hadn't been wearing it much, but I wore it one day on a live because I had a white shirt on. I typically don't wear white shirts, and I had a white shirt on, and I just gotten it the day before. And I was like, I am not getting paint on here. But yeah, Callie came with me to Colorado to the workshop, and we did this there. So I actually want to do like what Carmen did and add some more stenciling. I think it's a great way to not only decorate your apron, but also to showcase the stencils, right? That, for me, that would be. But it just looks so pretty the way that Carmen did it. But she just does everything pretty. Carmen is a DIY paint retailer. She's also an IOD stockist, like I am. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, she is a blessed woman. There was an amazing fire in Colorado, right across the street from her house. And yes, I see you today. I can see this. I don't know what happened yesterday and why I couldn't see the comments. Like, I don't even know why, but I could. But encourage your viewers to share your live, it says on TikTok. Please do that. Please do that. Help me out. I am trying to grow all of my platforms. So if you're not following me, you can follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on Facebook and on YouTube. Everything is Leesa Boone Designs, just as you see it written. And that would just be such a great blessing to me. I need to grow my pages. So if you love this kind of stuff, let me just tell you, I do painting. I paint furniture. I teach lots of tutorials on how to paint furniture, how to paint home decor, how to upcycle and thrift. I'll have lots of videos on doing all of that. I have a few actually going thrifting on YouTube, and I'll do reels and stories showing all of that stuff. But then I also love paper crafting, and thank you for sharing, guys, on Facebook. I also love paper crafting. I just did a workshop in a private group for the ATC girls last night, and I really want to get back to it. My desk is a mess. I left it a huge mess with all of the paper crafting stuff all over my desk, but that's okay because I'm gonna have fun. So now see that this is all nice and done. Carmen is an amazing talented. I love the bags that she made recently. I know she is so incredible. She really has so many beautiful talents. All right, so this paper, because of what it is, it could go in any direction. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna try to see if I can. I don't have that much space, but I want you to be able to see. So I think what I'm going to do, and see this is pliable and it's soft. See, because it's rice paper. All right. So I think I really want this 42 to be center stage, kind of. Yeah, see, look at that. I think that would look really good. And then have this going down. Actually, if I move it a little bit more, it would actually cover the whole thing. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna bring this back just a little bit. This E, I kind of want it to go like this all around, and then the STMP. So the hardest part is gonna be the hardware on the front, okay? This hardware. So I'm not gonna worry about it until it's dried, and then I'm gonna cut around it. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so there's an actual crease right here. I'm gonna utilize that to kind of keep this straight. When you get your papers, if you order them, you can order them on my website, leesaboonedesigns.com. When you get your papers, they're going to be folded. Like this one comes in this plastic, it comes folded. Whether it's the tissue paper or the rice paper. As soon as you decoupage it, it evens out and it stretches out. Paper crafting doesn't speak to me, but I love painting and decoupage. Really, Sheila, you don't like the paper crafting? For a long time, I didn't like paper crafting because, you know, I left that with the 90s. But I'm gonna tell you what, I think I'm gonna use this brush. I'm using DIY Paints Liquid Patina. It's my go-to decoupage medium. Again, this is available on my website. I'm gonna go ahead and put a nice layer. Wait a minute. Hold up. This is paper. We need this off before I decoupage it because it was coming up. I didn't even see that. The light just hit it a certain way and I saw it. All right, let me see if I can, sorry for the noise. I don't think I have to take all of it off, but that part right there was creasing up. Oh my goodness, these people were smokers. I can smell it. I had a feeling, I was wondering, I did a cedar chest and I have a YouTube video on it and it had that texture on it like that, this texture. I was hoping that it wasn't the case, but I can smell the nicotine, and that is actually from smoking inside your house so much. It's so disgusting. That it gets on here. I actually had to sand down the piece. It turned out beautiful, but I was quite angry. I was not having it. But anyway, back to Sheila's comment. She said she doesn't, paper crafting doesn't speak to her. I think you should try, and here's why. I really feel like we have the ATC group, and we talk about this all the time, but there's something about paper crafting, cutting and gluing paper down, that just like decoupaging, is just on a smaller scale. It exercises your creativity. So if you think that you're not creative, or you think that you're struggling with creativity, sit down with some paper, collage, cut glue. It's gonna do wonders for you. Hey Mara, how are you? Mara LaFay is in the house. She's a DIY paint retailer and she has her stencil line, which I have her stencils on my website. And I was thinking about adding some stencils to these projects. I have several here. So one of them will get one of Mara's stencils with a raised stencil because I love to do that. So I started to decoupage this with the Decoupage Queen paper, and I realized that this was actually paper and it was lifting up. I think that we should be good to go now if I leave it alone, because I'm gonna apply the decoupage medium, which Mara lovingly calls the secret sauce, and it really is, because you can do so much with it. This is gonna lay that down, but that other part was sticking up a little bit too much for my liking. And whenever you paint furniture or you're decoupaging, if the finish is failing, then your paint is not going to adhere, right? So you want to make sure you take that off, or your decoupage. So, all right, I am going to, I could cut this, but I'm not. I'm just getting this on here. I actually brought this. I usually use saran wrap. I have to be really careful. My nails are really strong, whether I have them long or short. And I have been known to rip paper. So I try not to use my hands. Hi, Diana. How are you? Oh, they're asking if Mara's gonna be on today. She said yes, Tuesday at 2 always. If you're not following Mara LaFay, you want to. She is Vintage Retail Therapy by Mara. She is so awesome. She has so many great ideas for decoupaging and mixed media. Now, you notice that I'm doing this. Sorry for the train. Let me wait. Let me wait for the train to go by. I'm not going to decoupage the legs. Let me just take that off. All right, so I'm just gonna smooth this out. See, what lines? There's no crease, there's no crease. Anyway, Mara does a lot of beautiful artwork. She does a lot of mixed media. She is definitely someone that you need to follow. Hold on a second. I'm gonna hit this with the dryer. I want this to dry for a minute before I start doing all kinds of things. If you guys have any questions, please ask away, especially if you're watching on TikTok. Please follow my page. Y'all, I've been on the TikTok shop. I did a reel yesterday. I got the viral Halara body, no, I don't know what you call it, overall. Let me tell you, the hype was real. The hype was real. Hi, Patricia. Oh, thank you. Thank you. She said it's going to be beautiful. She loves it already. I love this paper by Decoupage Queen. Again, it's called STM 42. And all the decoupage papers come in several different sizes. And if you ever want a large format, you know, just let me know. It has to be ordered. It takes a little bit of time to get it. So you kind of have to plan in advance if you're doing like a big piece of furniture. But anyway, I'm wearing the Halara pants today. They're wide leg. I don't know if you can see them. Like, oh my gosh. I took my shoes off to get comfortable here. They are so comfortable. Like, the bodysuit was amazing and I loved it. And I just never thought I would wear like overalls, you know. Sometimes that's not so pretty for certain people. It doesn't look good, but let me tell you, it looked so good, like so good. And the thing is, I was so comfortable. That's what made it even better, because the hype is real. It's real. They were not lying when they said all the things about the Halara stuff. So I did a little reel Have to get ready for work. Thanks for the fun, ladies. Bye, Mara. Have a great day. I actually got to meet Mara in person in Colorado, not this year, but last year, and that was so much fun. We did a little reel on TikTok. We were dancing together, so you can check that out. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I need to dry this part. So if this concerns you and worries you, what you need to do is cut your pieces, like measure it and cut your pieces, so that you can kind of go with the flow. And what I want to do here is I am going to, I need this to be dry, but I am going to cut this. So I'm just gonna slice this with this little knife. It's still wet. You really don't want to do it when it's wet. Let me get this dry, because what happens is when it's wet, your paper will tear. Now, for this particular project, it really wouldn't matter because I'm going to clear wax it. I'm going to dark wax it, add some texture. I think I want to do some stenciling on top of it. This is coming up. Actually, I'm not going to worry about that side, but this side needs to go down more. For some reason, it didn't lay down all the way. Maybe I didn't put enough right there. So I might as well do this side. It's lifting up, so that's the number one thing. You want to make sure, especially your edges, that they're nice and firmly. See how you can see the crease right there? You want that to be nice and adhered so that it won't come up. Now, ways around it, you can, especially if you get bubbles, you don't want bubbles. If you get any, you can pinch it with a needle and shoot it with some glue or some decoupage medium. What brands are you talking about? I want some overalls. Well, they're not overalls like jeans. They're overalls. They're the same pattern of this pants. They're waffle. They feel like pajamas. Like they feel like so comfortable. But the brand is Halara, H-A-L-A-R-A. Like, I'm seriously in love with these clothes. I did buy they had a flash sale, the actual Halara site. They had a flash sale, and I need to do this same thing to this side. And so I bought a whole bunch because I figured that's the way to try it, see if I was gonna like it. Because I mean, I was just so intrigued by it. And I ended up getting the jogger. I got a legging. It was like a tummy tuck and a booty thingy, you know? Like, I got that. I mean, I've been shopping on TikTok the last couple of months, and I've gotten some really great things. I got a pillow that conforms to your neck. That's really great. I have the coat I'm wearing. Can you see it in the back? Well, it's actually behind this sign. It's a plaid flannel jacket. So good, so warm. I got that. I've got some bodysuits, some different shirts. Like, the TikTok shop is where it's at. My friend, when I have decoupage on a box, I have an issue with the tissue splitting in the area where the box opens. Any advice? Yes, thank you for asking, because we're going to be talking about that. So what I'm going to do here first, the key is this has to be dry. I do the same thing if I'm doing furniture, okay? If I'm doing like one big piece of furniture in the front and I'm decoupaging it, I decoupage the entire thing with the drawers in, because, you know why? I want it to be seamless, and you know, sometimes things, especially old furniture, is not level. So I decoupage it all like this. We're decoupaging the whole thing. Then once it is dry, I'm gonna take my knife and I'm gonna cut it. See, I can run my nail right there and you can see where the line is. Can you see it? Right there. Can you make that out? And we're just gonna cut it. So that's what we're gonna do. And that's what I'm gonna do with these hinges too. But I'm gonna do that carefully when I'm not on the live, because that light is hard for my eyes. I have a hard time sometimes seeing it. And so I'm gonna cut around it carefully. So you can, like I said, typically I would paint first, but I'm just showing you, you don't have to paint. You can decoupage whatever it is right over your substrate, whatever it is, whether it's furniture, whether it's plastic, whether it's wood, whether it's glass. You can decoupage anything. So I'm not gonna get this down all the way. I think I'm gonna go up until the middle and down. I'm gonna try to get this down. Okay. Because I know I'm gonna have to make a hole and then get it in there. And maybe we can do it on a live. Like, I need this to be dry. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do the same thing. So I'm gonna cut this because I'm literally wrapping it. Like normally I'm not wrapping a box. Normally I am just decoupaging over the drawers, decoupaging over something. But I really loved this and I wanted to have this entire design on here. If I can get it, I'm at a weird angle. Yeah, I'm at a weird angle. Let me just do it this way. Okay. And what I did here was I just overlapped it a little bit. And so okay, there's some I need to get in there, make sure it's nice and adhered. And then everything that I overlapped, I'm going over it and I'm getting that down. So I'm getting, see, I have edges right here from this side coming up and over. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do too. Let me get a clean wipe. I'm going to take some of that decoupage medium off of here, off of the hardware. Because I don't want the decoupage medium on this hardware. Better to use, so you can apply a little bit more pressure when you use a plastic. You can use a gloved hand as well. I think what I need to do, I'm gonna poke a hole right here. I need it to lay flat. There we go. I'm gonna cut that out though. I'm not gonna leave that on there. Okay. Sorry for the phone. It'll stop here in a second. Okay. I'm gonna hit this with the heat gun. I like it when I get a little bit of wrinkles. People usually have a hard time because they don't like to decoupage because of wrinkles. Wrinkles are a fact of life. Like, it's just, you know, I'm gonna lift this up. I don't like the way that was sitting there. I had a feeling it wasn't all the way. So I'm just applying a little bit more decoupage medium. There we go. I want it to lay flat. I don't care if there's any wrinkles. And flat meaning there's no air pockets, because if you have the air pockets, that's when you can have issues with it coming up. Like that in the beginning, there was air pockets and I could see it. So if you have any other questions, let me know. I think this is gonna be super, super cool box. I need this to totally dry so we can separate it and cut off the excess. And then we're going to paint the legs in, the parts that are showing. I'm gonna add some paint. All right, let's see where we're at. This is still wet, but I'm gonna utilize that. Okay, I just tear that. Normally I don't tear this, but it's wet. And I'm just going to hold it and tear it. This one is struggling a little bit. But see, what I love about the rice paper is that there's gonna be fibers. Let me see if I can do this. Yeah, okay. So now I'm gonna save these pieces because I'm gonna use them somehow, some way in something else. Okay. So typically, I'm gonna do that again. I'm gonna do that here because I don't want the paper on the legs. I'm gonna paint the legs. Okay. And I need to get this down a little bit more. So I'm just holding where I don't want it to tear. And that's only because I've got legs here. Normally, once this is totally dry, I would use a sanding sponge or a sanding disc. And you really want to work it away from your piece. And what that does is it gives you a beautiful, clean edge. Okay, so I have to work on that leg a little bit. But you see how it gives you a nice clean edge? And look at that, that actually came out great because it looks like rivets right there. I didn't even really plan that. It looks like that right here too. Okay. So I want to work on, this is still really, really wet. And this is not adhered all the way down either. So I think I'm gonna do that little technique that I just did. I'm gonna wet this line. I'm gonna tear it. This is easy to do because of the rice paper, honestly. The rice paper is just so forgiving. I'm just gonna follow the back. Like I said, normally this is not how I would do it, but this is working, so I'm just tearing it. And I can clean up my edges once I get it smaller. There we go. So see all of this? This would make a great mixed media project, a background for something. Like I have a couple of things here that, oh, I need to show you this, that I'm gonna be painting. So I've got this shelf that I wanna paint. I have this that I thrifted. There were two signs. I've already done the first one and it was like a his and her kind of thing. So this is a great mixed media. Like I could decoupage this, I could add raised stencil, maybe some molds. That would be great. And then this was a pumpkin But I'm gonna use the back side and I'm gonna decoupage something on here and paint it. So like this would be really cool, or maybe add a mold in the center. I might wait for the new IOD release. The IOD release is coming very soon, so I might use one of the new things for that one. This also, I forgot to show you this. This is that gray metal box that I had last week. I added that milk chocolate color, then I added yellow, then I added green, and then I added stamping onto it, and then all the transfers, and I have to seal it. I'm gonna add some gold onto this. But this is how that turned out. What do you guys think? I love the way that it looks. It's really kind of cool. It's a metal box and, you know, now it's made pretty. All right, let's see. I'm gonna cut this right here at the hinge. Okay, because I need that to lay flat a little bit. Now, I, in real life, would not be doing this right now because it is wet and you really do want it to be dry, like completely dry. But I'm going to get that matted down. Okay, let me see what I've got here. I'm gonna lift this up. Taking such a chance. I am such a rebel. I'm a rebel. Love the metal box, thank you. Okay, all right. I want this to get really adhered. So since I cut it now, I don't care about covering up this hinge back here, honestly. But I didn't want to cover up the front side. So most of this is gonna be. So see the rice paper, it's a little bit tougher that you can do that. I can lift up the tissue paper a little bit, like immediately if I'm working with it and I don't like something, I can do that. But I would have tore the paper if I would have done that with the tissue paper. I'm just gonna tear some of that up. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do with this is I'm going to go ahead and seal it. So I'm gonna use my brush to get that in there and go around that hinge and seal those edges in. And so I'm sealing in the sides as well. I got some good wrinkles on this side too. And I'm laying my brush. I don't want any air pockets. I want this to be really good. And then I'm doing the sides that way. And what's great about that is that, let me see, there we go. I want to add some black. So I want to add like some paint to the legs. All right, let me show you. See, I wrapped the edge around. You can't see it. Well, you can now because of the decoupage medium, but it's gonna blend into each other. Got to go work on orders for Mara. Oh, okay, Ruth. Got to get to work. I got to get on that website here myself. Everybody's coming out with new products, y'all. And everybody comes out with new products at the same time. That is the struggle in real life. That is the struggle. Because IOD has a release. Decoupage Queen just had a release, and I didn't see the pre-order. So that's why I don't have it already on my website, but I am ordering. So if you saw yesterday's release with Decoupage Queen, the spring was amazing. Oh my gosh, so good. Oh wait, I'm talking And I don't want, I didn't decoupage that, so I don't want that down. I'm gonna cut around that because I want the metal to be seen, right? You could seal it all up, but I just really want to see the metal. So I've done this, I'm gonna go around the metal bracket there, that hardware, because that's where my decoupage is. So I do not have any decoupage medium. See, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm just working it all around. So I'm also, now I can see, because I've worked this in, I can see my line really well. So, what time is it? It's 11:41. I don't know why the time goes so fast. I just think this paper is so much fun. I really had intended to use this paper on a piece of furniture, to be honest. But I thought, I haven't done grunge in a while, and I'm kind of feeling that. Okay, so this is what we have to do. I need to get this to dry so I can show you how I'm gonna cut the drawers so that you can open it. If you guys have any other questions, let me know. I'm so glad my husband just texted, because usually he calls. He always calls when I'm on a live. Even though I have my phone on Do Not Disturb, his call and my daughter's call comes through. So I've been trying to get in the habit, like, hey, I'm going live. And sometimes he'll be like, well, I checked that you were going live. And I was like, yeah, but I was live in the private group. He doesn't have access to the private group, so he didn't know. He's like, oh, well, I did check. And then it could throw me off. I love this paper. I really like the top of the paper, but I really wanted that 42 because this has a little bit of blue on it. And so we may have to stipple in some color. I've done that before. You can paint over your paper if you want to change the color. You can do the same thing on transfers. I've done that before. Like if you want to add a specific color to your piece or more of it, you know, like right here you can see that blue on the back side. I'm liking that blue. So I might I have some bohemian blue here. Maybe we can stipple some to change it up. Because you want to make it your own. You want to take the tools, the products, and utilize them, and then make it your own. Watch the lives. Everyone has so many great ideas. There's so many talented DIY paint and Iron Orchid Design stockists, creators. But you want to make it your own because you want it to look good in your house. You want it to match your theme, your style, right? It's still damp. If I can't get this to dry enough, then what I will have to do is video it and post it. But you're going to expose the hinges, yes. Yes, I'm going to expose the hinges. Not so much, like right now you can actually see them. I've got to work on it a little bit more. And I'm going to expose the hardware fully on top. I'm going to take my knife and I'm going to carefully cut all around it so that it's exposed. There was something on when I was sanding, I didn't clean off so there's some stuff on here. Well, it's gonna have to stay here, maybe. Let me see if I can get this one off. I have to be careful because of my nails. There we go. Because the paper was wet. And then what I will do is we're definitely gonna paint those bottoms, maybe grunge up the top a little bit more, clear wax it, black wax it to add more grunge and more depth, more like, you know, like it's worn, especially around the hinges and the hardware. And then we will see what else. But you want to seal this, because if this is something that's going to be used by a lot of people, or a lot, dust is texture. Dust is texture, girl. Dust is texture. You want it to be durable. You don't want it to come off. So I will, before I seal it, let me see if I can get, I think this is dry enough. Okay. So I'm gonna just get my knife in there. It's a little bit wet. Can you hear? Okay, so I pulled that up a little bit, but we can get that back down, because we're gonna have to, once you cut it, you're gonna want to go back and add your decoupage medium over it, because you want to seal all of those edges in. Honestly, it's gonna rip right there. This is still so wet, y'all, so wet. But the good thing is that I can add paint and we can touch this up. Again, if I'm telling you to do this when you're doing this at home, you're gonna wait. If I'm doing this by myself, I'm gonna wait for it to completely dry. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I oftentimes will just use my nail, because my nails are so strong, especially on the tissue paper. Okay. Ooh, that was really wet. And you know what? It wouldn't be a bad thing to have some of the wood exposed. See, I've got these hinges. You can see I just left the some of it, because I actually added some decoupage medium. This is wet. All right, let me see. Oh, okay, wait. This is, I need to, all right, let me see if I can get this, because this is really, really wet. Because this is locked. So I need to take this part off. See, I would normally, like I said, I would wait until this is so dry, and then I would cut this all apart. See, and because I wiped off all of the decoupage medium, it's not sticking to this. Were you guys holding your breath? Okay, so see, that's how I would do it. I've got to clean this up too a little bit more. I'm gonna wait till it's dry. I can see the shape, so I would just follow the shape. I said I was gonna wait, but here I am. It lifted up a little bit too much because it's wet. All right, let me see. Okay, so that is sticking up a little bit, so that's fine. I expect that. We will decoupage this down, get all of those edges down, all of the edges down here. Go ahead and utilize that to get all of those edges down. And see, the decoupage medium is white, but it dries clear. I thought I had a wipe. What do you guys think? Is this something that you can do? Do you think that this is something you can do? Sheila said, whoo! Yeah, so we have to decoupage. Like I said, I'll go ahead, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go ahead and get all of my edges down because some of that stuff lifted, right? So I'm gonna get a good coat on here all around. I'm gonna go around my hinge, my hardware, I mean, get that down. Now, liquid patina is a top coat, but it is not the most durable top coat because it's not meant for that. It's something that if I'm doing a piece of wall art, I can decoupage that and seal it with that and be okay and move on. But I'm not going to do something that is a piece of furniture or something that I'm going to use all the time. No, 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 no. That is not good because it is not that durable. That's not what it's for. Okay, I'm not gonna do here because I have to do the same thing. See, this is coming up here because I didn't apply any decoupage medium there. So I'm gonna wait for this to dry. I'm lifting it up because I think I got some decoupage medium on there just a few minutes ago. So see, I'm gonna just lift that up and I'm going to cut around it. I'm gonna let this dry. And I think it looks great like this, but you could do more if you wanted. And let me just show you so you could see like this part, because I wanted the 42 where I wanted it, this part is missing some paper and this one went all the way down, which I could have had it a little bit more even is what I'm saying. But I'm gonna be painting this in black. And I'm gonna carry some of that black grunge, and I think I am gonna add some boho blue. Boho blue is a dark teal color. It's not quite this, but it's gonna give me that same color. Hold on, and it's 11:54. Let me show you what the boho blue is. So you can kind of see. I have a couple of things I've been trying to paint with boho blue. So this is, it looks black. Okay, it's not black, I promise. It's looking a lot darker on camera. It's more bright, it's more bright. It's brighter. It's brighter. So that will add that tone to it. And so DIY paint is dries lighter. Let me show you. Let me show you. And what I love about DIY paint is that you can finger paint, because why? I'm just gonna, because it's non-toxic. So see how dark that is? Now watch, when I dry it, it's gonna get lighter. See how much lighter that got? Can you see? You can see it, right? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some black paint. I'm gonna add some blues sporadically and see how like that blue is under there. We'll be able to add some of that blue on here because it's on the back and I want some of that blue to come through. And then I'm going to, see, look at that. It's a rich, rich teal color. It's so beautiful. I love, love, love this color and I love to blend with it. So pretty. And I think it has some green in there too. So I think I am gonna add some aviary. Let's see what that looks like. I'm just going to just add a little bit of green. And whenever I do this, like I really do like to do it with my finger because it kind of smudges it a little bit. It also helps to dry it. And I also like to use my wipe because then it kind of just smushes it all around. Because there's not just one color, there's lots of layers. So I don't want it to be like one splotch of color. I'm using my watercolor brush just because I grabbed it, but normally I would use a different kind of brush. And then, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna add some more paint just to add some more color. See, like that blue back here, I just sporadically, we're gonna do that. And then seal it, clear wax it. I'm gonna seal it one more time with the decoupage medium, make sure all my ends are good. And I'm gonna use DIY Paints clear wax. It is #1 wax that there is across the board. Like, I love it so much. It is creamy and it just glides on. And then I'm gonna use, oh, I said black wax, but I think I pulled out the dark wax. The dark wax is great. It is just as buttery. We have black, we have white, and then of course we have gold. And so I will take some of this gold probably and hit around it and then grunge that up. So I think it's gonna look really cool. I will definitely post a picture once I have it all done. And please be sure to follow, subscribe, do all of the things, like, and I love it when you comment because like that really does bless me and help me. I have Dixie Belle paint that is very similar to that color. Yeah, I think they call it, yeah, I knew the color. I just can't think of it. Yeah, it's a beautiful, this is a beautiful color and it's a deceiving color because it looks so dark, but then when you see it, it's vibrant, it's beautiful. I love it so much. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it so much. And it looks blue, it's beautiful. Yeah, who said that? Shannon, hey girl. I have a similar box. Can't wait to try this. Oh, I want to see it, Shannon. And then I want to see you sell it on Whatnot. All right, guys. Have an incredibly blessed day.